I never support your plays. Ever.
Doesn't have one yet, so that means
I never
there's only
support
two of them
Antonio's
left.
play.
You and Antonio, the only ones that can have a copy of my book if they bust me today. Because Phil.
Hey, by the way, if you bust me and you give me a copy of that book, it will find somebody that needs to read it that hasn't read it.
Absolutely.
So,
right.
Lines up to 150 and 300.
The first copy's already
For
with
everybody out
somebody
there
else.
doesn't know, this is my book, Check Raising the Devil. Available on Amazon.
And by the way, it's a great book.
.com.
Let me see it.
And,
I wrote the intro, baby.
You could also get them any Barnes & Noble here in
Dude, this
United
is the
States.
dirtiest book ever. I mean, Mike's story is amazing.
It is. It's
I
good.
mean, you've got jail,
It's 153.
drugs, and beautiful women, and
It's just got all the
return
things
to
I went
form.
through.
Losing weight, winning championships.
Oh, please punish him.
The mouth.
Please, like,
You get the feeling Helmuth has a piece of the publishing.
Want a good book? You can read it.
It is a good book. I enjoyed it.
Picking up the action, Locke has flopped a king-high flush draw against Oberstadt's gut-shot straight draw.
That it isn't one of the best books I've ever read, which makes me feel good.
750. 750.
I love Locke and at Wars.
Isn't it so easy to just...
It's like fish versus genius savant. You know? Savant bets, fish calls. Let's see what happens on the turn. Fish checks, savant thinks. Savant checks. King on the river,
Fish thinks.
fish checks. Savant checks.
You win.
Let's draw.
That hurt Antonio more than you in that.
Yes, it did.
Didn't hurt me. I like when Phil Locke has
Yeah, because you figure you can get him now, right?
Two birds with one stone for Phil Locke. Win a pot and needle your buddy. Back inside our exclusive poker room at the Golden Nugget.
My greatest Phil Locke story of all time was in Turks and Caicos.
Oh, that hurt. When you whacked me in that hand?
When I straddled and picked up 2 aces. And
The rest was history, and then I went broke,
and I
right?
went raise, and he made this huge raise on my straddle, and I looked down and made a big re-raise, and he called, and the flop came like 8 high, and I just shipped 25,000, and he snap called, and I go, what do you got? I go, I got 2 aces. He goes, you got aces? He goes, yeah, they're good.
How do you have 2 aces
30,000
there?
in the pot.
How did you get 2
This
aces?
is what I've been eating for a week.
There's
bro.
nothing better in life than getting aces on a straddle against a fish.
I know. That's
I'm
awesome.
still working.
Okay, no worries. I love that.
Are you serious?
You never did come clean with me, buddy. You're never going to tell me what you had that hand?
Antonio, in our entire 10 years of hanging out, how many hands have I told you what I had afterwards?
Usually,
4.
Usually after the hand, you know, like when you take pain like
tell you
that.
my deathbed.
But that was pretty painful.
On my deathbed, I'll tell you.
And to
I remember what I had, though.
to give pain to you like that.
We can switch
you know,
sometime. Sometime when...
Felt so good that I think one day you should at least tell me.
Someday
what kind
when
of
I'm really
pain.
curious
Wow,
about a hand that you
Antonio
have.
limping on my button. I don't know if I've ever witnessed
Big hand.
You told him limping on the button against you was always the right play.
Someday when I'm super curious about a hand of yours, we can make a
I'd
trade.
love to know.
He knows he's always going to get a free flop because Phil's just that's what Phil likes
Yeah,
to do.
why not just raise?
Of course, never I pick up a hand, but that's okay. So now I limp.
Hi-ya!
And big eye raises.
$40, I'll show you, for $40.
Folded a monster.
And I re-raise.
Antonio polishes off 300 by limp folding on the button.
Mouth, how's that?
No, there's 1 week. We have 1 week blind at
Mouth?
the table. I'm not talking to you. I'm in the middle of a conversation, sir. I'll be back to you in a minute.
Thank you.
Go on.
And I raised this blind twice, but for like 3 hours. And both
Are you really
times I
eating that?
re-raised.
That's the kind of stuff I'm
This
eating.
time I had ace.
For a week now.
I raised the guy.
Hey, what is
This is like a delight, by the way. The rest of it is worse. Cottage cheese, oatmeal.
Ooh, I like cottage cheese. Can you eat applesauce with it?
No, it's way
Yeah,
too much
but he
sugar.
folded.
What I don't get,
Oh, God, I keep
Antonio,
He
forgetting.
folded the jack 10.
what I don't get is how
Folded-
people can
folded
drink
jack
so much
10
alcohol.
of spades. I showed him the 3.
And then they
Nice.
watch their diet. What is that about?
What?
The boozers that watch their diet.
Yeah, I mean, when someone, I'm not saying Antonio, but when someone like is a big drinker or they do drugs or whatever, I mean, this is not Antonio. But
You can.
no, it's
Might
not.
be.
It's
I don't
not
do drugs,
Antonio.
but I do drink.
But it doesn't make sense to me when someone does just a ton of drugs and they drink and then they try to watch their diet.
And they work out every day.
Yeah, and they, I mean, I'm like, well,
everything counts. I mean, I drink, right?
Yeah.
But I also work out and I eat relatively healthy. And
you eat amazingly healthy.
so I mean, the drinking doesn't overtake
What is that, by the way?
the healthy. This is just ground sirloin and brown rice. My carbs for the day.
He's on a strict
I
regimen.
think it's great that great that
like
people
Antonio
are
is
paying attention
now
to nutrition.
enjoying the single life, so he's got to be like, you know, the superstar that he used to be. You know, he can't slack.
Antonio is a superstar, isn't he?
Is there more ketchup?
Owns, is there any VIP club in Las Vegas? Antonio sends a text, and there's just the VIP table at that club waiting for him when he arrives, where they bring Dom and vodka and Cristal.
Usually not dumb, unless someone else is paying. I hate spending money on champagne. Sometimes I crack, but not very often.
Back to the poker, heads up between the mouth and the Unabomber.
Anyone?
I like going out with you, Antonio.
It's fun.
We always
Come
have a
out
lot
tonight.
of fun. I can't tonight.
All right, you got to play tomorrow?
Yeah.
Locke bets the flop and takes the pot.
What are you playing tomorrow?
I also like going out with Ivy. I mean, he's
I heard he's fun to go out with.
Am I getting more ketchup just so I know? Because if I am, I'm going to stop eating. Yeah.
Right.
If not, I'm just going to suffer and eat it without ketchup. But this meal, ketchup's the highlight of my meal.
Since you have all these chips right now, I want you to suffer.
Yeah, can we have him suffer? No ketchup for
Ketchup is
Antonio.
on the way. I like that.
Ketchup's on the way?
Good service.
Can you believe the highlight of my meal is ketchup?
Can you believe the highlight of my poker after dark is I didn't finish sixth?
Can you believe in the Reagan administration ketchup was actually a fruit and vegetable?
Antonio, I didn't finish sixth. Can you believe it?
And Antonio, you busted me in the World Series of Poker Europe.
I did. It was pure.
It was
I heard
pure. I
about
didn't
it.
like it very much, but I still love you, even though it was very steamed up in the moment. People don't know about this group. People don't know about this group. Everybody here is a nice guy, even that
How about a
Mike
nice
the
girl,
Mouth
too?
character.
Nice
Yeah,
guy,
of
nice
course.
girl,
Yeah, that's
Make
what I
sure you
mean.
don't-
Everybody here is
Discriminate.
nice.
Don't discriminate, man.
Mike actually has a heart of gold, but he just barks.
No, I just, Rich, tell it like it is, man.
Antonio defending his big blind outflops Annette's ace high with a 4.
He'll tell you how bad you won.
Now he turns a 10.
What's the place that you came in?
It was day 2 or something, or maybe day 3.
God, I can't believe how I went out. I was so sick then.
Look, I made a call I didn't have to make against him. I was wrong.
Phil always thinks Antonio's messing with him, but the truth is Antonio knows Phil's not going to fold to him, so he's not going to be messing with him.
Yeah, right.
Betting a call of 850.
I think here goes Antonio trying to give some of those chips away, but I'm not quite sure.
Antonio's bet of 2,400, about 3/4 of the pot. Annette pays off, and the chip leader adds to his stack.
He flopped 2 pair and turned 3 pair. You know how hard that is to do?
Not easy.
The Huntress slips from 4th to 5th.
Welcome back to Poker After Dark. Antonio Esfandiari doubled up early, and he's kept his big lead intact. Right now, the magician is the player to beat.
More than a 2-to-1 chip lead for Antonio Esfandiari over his buddy Phil Locke, who sits in 2nd place.
Talking about that
No.
video? Okay, it's the
Phil Hellmuth in 3rd, followed by Mike Matisow and Annette Oberstad in 5th.
You have to, when you get home, watch it. It's 3.5 minutes of world-class entertainment.
Just you and me, huh? Eat that?
No, everybody, I mean, just like everybody knows my blind. I mean, my blind, it's just like the freaking joke of an internet. I mean, everybody raises my blind every hand, I fold every hand, everybody just
Mike,
folds to
Mike,
me,
Mike,
and I just
Mike,
pick up 2 aces.
we're not on the internet now.
This is just like the guy checking Jack's full behind me on the internet the other day, the Stone Nut Full House. Like he knows I got 4 sevens.
Did you have 4 sevens?
Yeah.
Wow.
Check Jack's
Wow.
full.
Owned.
He checked jacks full behind me.
Jack 9, 7, 7 deuce.
Yeah.
It was Omaha, though.
PLO.
It was Omaha.
It don't make a difference. There was 2,500 in the pot.
Yeah, but he knows you're only calling with,
With what?
I don't know.
What are you trying to say,
Jack
Bill?
7. I mean, if I have
He
Jack
knew
7
something.
or 9's full, I'm putting it in.
He knew something.
Wow.
But the guy called me 20,000 when I had the dry ace with the second nut flush. No problem. I mean, it's just a joke.
The greatest player limped? Check.
How did you have 2 aces there?
What'd you check for, Antonio? You never checked.
Because you limped in
I
your
never
position,
get
and
that.
you're Phil Hellmuth, and I'm intimidated. You know?
I know you're not intimidated.
Neither player connecting with the board.
Attacks my blind.
Antonio taking a shot. And Hellmuth putting in a raise.
I don't have the nuts. Not even close to the nuts. Nuts would be 3 aces. Not even close to the nuts.